All right, we're going to go ahead. We are live streaming this on YouTube only. So some of our folks have been asking. how do you interpret that? I'm going to let you hold this. Just a reminder for everybody, when we start randomly sharing, we'll try to pass the microphone around because the only way the folks online can hear is if we're using actual microphone. They can hear a little bit of room noise, but that's going to be really tough on them. All right. What? Victoria. Everybody's like, a young person. Come right over here, Victoria. Victoria's my niece, just so that everybody knows. Yeah, and Victoria and Lavena will be helping lead worship at some of our sites. And so, yeah. Hi. Well, Doug's old and you're cute. I mean, we're all good. I love it. I love it. And then up on the screen by himself is Gary. And then we have Mark and Young and Pam. Thank you. I don't know.
Hello, Victoria.
I don't know why I remember Mark and his last name and can't remember Pam. But anyways, there you go, Pam. Yes. Well, good. Thanks, guys. Hey, we'll get started. I wanted to read a scripture. I think it's relevant for what's happening both in Israel and for us getting ready to travel. And then we'll pray and then talk over a few things. But it's Psalm 122. It's in the Psalms of Ascent. So Psalms of Ascent, I think, are around Psalm 120, and then there are about 14 or 15 Psalms. And they're always been one of my favorite series of Psalms. I think I've preached on it at least once, maybe twice. But I love the imagery, the intent, the purpose. It's for the believer who literally points their feet towards Jerusalem. The symbology here is they point their feet towards God, and they move towards God in worship, in life. And so there's a series of psalms that these travelers would sing or quote on their way to Jerusalem to worship for the festivals. For sure, one of them's right now. Hundreds and thousands of people are traveling to Jerusalem right now for Passover. And then in Jerusalem, we will be on the steps that goes up to the tabernacle, and they're a series of spaced steps. And it's also thought for those who were in Jerusalem who didn't travel would quote those psalms on every other step as they move up towards the tabernacle to worship. So we'll actually be on those steps. And we'll talk more about that. I always love doing a group shot there. It's one of my favorite places to do a group shot on the steps. But in Psalm 122 it says, I rejoiced with those who said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. Our feet are standing in your gates, Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built like a city that is closely compacted together. That is where the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, to praise the name of the Lord, according to the statute given to Israel. There stand the thrones for judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you be secure. May there be peace within your walls and security within your citadels. For the sake of my family and friends, I will say, peace be within you. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I will seek your prosperity. And so let me open in prayer. God, thank you for this incredible opportunity to travel with these dear folks. It's just a life-changing experience. Thank you that you've given us resources to do this and purpose and intent. So even now, as we have intent to go and be in the Holy Land, to experience it and the history and everything that's attached to it. God, we pray for the peace of Israel, for the peace of Jerusalem, the Tel Aviv area, and God, for peace in our own hearts. And so, God, we're excited. We're thankful for what you do for us. And we worship you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Well, good. You all got my email, right? You all read my email. Some of you have been getting inquiries from family and friends, or maybe you watch the news yourself, which I don't, by the way. So somebody had to alert me. I literally, when I say don't watch the news in Israel, it depends on how you're wired. If it creates anxiety, don't watch. But for sure, Pilgrim Tours is just one of many tour companies that send hundreds of thousands of people into Jerusalem, into Israel. None of that has stopped. For Pilgrim Tours, they literally only had one or two groups that got their flights messed up, and that's it. It's already calmed down. The Prime Minister, the writing's on the wall. Okay, I got to back up because it's Passover. All these people are trying to travel to Jerusalem for Passover and tourism and dollars. You know what? Maybe I'll just wait till June, July when it slows down because it's too hot to go to Jerusalem or Israel in June or July. I think that's what's going to happen. And so all that to say, it is completely safe. And so no need to worry. Any questions about that? Any concerns? Okay, good. See, you're such a... I told my tour company, by the way, our tour company said we're one of the easiest, best groups she's ever done. And I said, I actually have a lot of people on my tour that have traveled internationally, and that helps too. If you have traveled outside the United States, it changes your worldview, your perspective, and it comes easier when you've done it before. Your packets, I already got a notification. My packet comes with extra things that they ship to me that I have to take with me to Israel, so I already got a notification. You should be watching in the mail for the next several days. You'll have your packets. It'll have all your flight information, all the hotel information, all the contact information. Definitely make at least 3 copies. Leave 1 copy at home, or if you scan the email and you want to email it to people, that's a great way to, that's what I do. But keep a copy at home with family. Keep an extra copy in your suitcase that is checked, and keep 1 extra copy in your carry-on bag. And I would definitely encourage you all to do that. I do the same with my passport and my driver's license. I include all of that on all 3 sets. Okay? Make sense? All right. Dinner. You guys don't get in till 6:15. Oh, 6:15? Is 7 o'clock too late for dinner for our group? Okay, we're going to... Yeah. So what we're going to do, you all get an email. We'll stay in touch. I've got most of your cell phones through the tour company, but I'll be touching base to make sure I get them all so they're in my phone. But what we'll do is we'll shoot for 7 o'clock. I mean, you got to get a checked bag, but what you'll do is you can get to your hotel, get checked in, and then just make your way to the hotel. And if you're doing a shuttle, that's great. Or if you do Uber, just tell them to wait while you get checked in, and then just catch the same Uber if you want. I will try to choose more central to all our hotels, and that has a wide array of menu items for everybody for all their food things. So I got your email, Jim, and so we'll just have tons of fun. Do I have everybody? Okay, good. Nobody else is trying to join in. And then we'll just have a great meal together. If you've read some of the material for traveling, it says keep your normal schedule. That's later than normal eating. I know we're all going to be jazzed and excited, but if at all possible, make sure you get a good night's sleep. And now if you looked at your links on the 1 month from travel to Israel that I sent as well, it says 2.5 to 3 hours at the airport for international travel. So all that to say is most of our hotels, you got to check out by 11 anyways. So what I would suggest is we all just plan on for sure meeting at our airline counter area at noon. And so I'll send that out on an email. We'll all meet together. We'll all go and check through together. It'll go pretty smoothly. We'll get to our gate area, and then you guys, everybody can do whatever they want to do. And if people want to wander and leave their bags with people who just want to hang out at the gate, no problem. But just know that as we traverse through the airports, from the moment we land in LA, we traverse together. Once we get to our gates, then people can do stuff. But we want to get to the gates together. And that's to get us in the habit, because in Israel, we literally are like a giant amoeba staying connected together and traveling everywhere we go. And this fine young fella here is going to have a colored hat. He's going to be the caboose of our group in Israel. I'll know that if I can see him, he's the end of our group. And so literally, we really try to keep our group, yeah. And that's actually what I told him. The main thing is we want to stay up. Now, for many of you, it's your first time. So the closer you are to our tour leader, the easier you'll hear. I still need to work and see if there's some ear things they're going to provide for us. I need to check on that. But if we're able to traverse as a group easily then we'll have longer times we can have at the actual sites. That's how it works. And just so all of you know, that's one of the reasons we added a night to this tour. Well, who doesn't want to add a night? Anyways, but the reason we added a night to this tour is to create more margin, more time. We're gonna flat out be hustling on some days between sites because we have very specific times we have to meet on some of the sites. And so I only say that to say you're not going to notice. I mean, I'm not going to be cracking the whip, but some days you're like, wow, we're moving pretty fast. Can we slow down? We're going to be like, nope. So do your best. We're going to have a great time. Yeah. Jim with the colored hat has the whip on the end. I promised you. I want to. Any questions so far on anything Is this helpful to hear, kind of how we move as a group? Okay. I promised you an app. The WhatsApp is probably the best app. It's What's WHATS APP. It's an app on your smartphone. It's easy, it's free. It will ask you if they can have access to your contacts. I hate it when those things ask me that, and I always say no, because I'm going to use it for whoever I want to use it for. The WhatsApp is a Wi-Fi text and calling app, and it's the most worldwide. It's the most worldwide app. And so I will tell you, almost all apps are limited by whoever you're calling has to have the same app. So if you have a loved one here in town that you want to be in contact with, you should make sure they have the app, and then you can call and text for free.
What do you do when your loved ones only have a house?
Yeah. Well, actually, yes. Yeah.
Do they have an iPad, or it doesn't have to?
Okay. So,
So they can use that.
yeah, nobody can hear our extra conversation. If the question was, what if your loved one only has a landline? Remember, call your cell phone company. Call your provider. Ask them. Tell them you're going to be traveling in Israel. Does my plan cover that? What is the cost? And then you can make decisions for yourselves. Yeah. So, yeah. In here, yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, but if you type in on your iOS, on your Apple or your Android, what's WHATS APP, it'll show right up, and it's a green icon, right? green icon with a little bubble, talking bubble or phone bubble. Yeah, yep,
Now, is this even for phones that aren't designed to work overseas? It'll work?
yep. Because it'll work over Wi-Fi. So your hotels, all our hotels have Wi-Fi internet. That'll be your best internet. The buses do have some internet, but it is so spotty. You are not going to be like, it's ridiculously spotty. And at that point, I don't even check my phone because if my emails push through, I don't even want to know what's going on back here. They can all wait. And so it just depends on how you're wired. Yes, yes. Well, I have kids and stuff at home, but yeah, so, but I would say I love the internet in my hotel because I use some apps. I use Evernote and other things, and I keep notes for the day. And so I like to do that and use the internet in my hotel. And so that app is free and it uses internet, Wi-Fi. Yeah. We have 18. There's 18 of us going. Yeah, there's 18 of us, which is great. It was great. It was so funny. Somebody contacted me and said, "Hey, I want to know about this Israel trip." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And it's on my Airbnb app, uh, and and I was so confused because they were referring to a trip I did 5 years ago, which was also a size of 18. So I was so confused. It was like, so 18, the last time I went was 18. It's such a great size for a group. We're going to have a ton of fun together. Yeah. We're going to move in and out of areas much easier than the groups that are 40 plus. And so, yeah. All right. I can't remember you guys, and if I already mentioned it, yeah, Sam, you already told us. I wanted to have Joshua Aaron do a little mini concert for us at the hotel. That didn't work out, but he's doing a worship concert in Magdala, which is about a 20-minute Uber drive from our hotel on the Sea of Galilee. And Magdala, we will be there. We're going to tour that site. It's gorgeous. It's a chapel on the Sea of Galilee, magnificent. The inside of the chapel pays homage to all of the powerful women of the Bible. It's just beautiful. But he's going to be doing a free concert on one of the nights we're in the Sea of Galilee. So I know I'm going, and I'll be checking in, and we can coordinate to get there. But I will tell you this, when we talk about all the fun things we'll do at night, the reality is we're exhausted from the day. So, but I'm highly motivated. I want to go see him in person. And so I'll just let all of you know, and if people want to go, we'll go. And go. A typical day is going to be anywhere from 7 or 8 in the morning till 5 at night. And so, yeah, so ideally, if we land at the hotel around 5 or 4:30 or 5, that's really the ideal. If we get back too early, you're tired, you want to go back to your room, you shower, maybe you're still dealing with a little bit of jet lag, and you end up falling asleep, and then it's so hard to get going again. And so the ideal is we land back at our hotel, and we're hungry, we just kind of go eat, and then we go to our room, and then boom, basically done, unwind. But on the Sea of Galilee, it's just magnificent. The whole outdoor seating area is super, super restful, relaxing. It's my favorite part of the whole trip. And that's why I added a night on the Sea of Galilee. Good. Any other questions, comments, jokes, snide remarks? Go. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Pam. Go ahead.
What is Josh's last name?
Aaron.
Joshua Aaron.
With an A?
Yes, double A. My middle name.
Okay.
If you YouTube Joshua Aaron, he has a channel. It's amazing. He's a singer-songwriter. He's become so popular over the last 3 years. It's just harder and harder to get him. But almost all of his songs incorporate English and Hebrew within the song itself. It's beautiful. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, great videos. Some of his most recent videos, even just this week, a couple days ago, he's saying because he lives at the Garden Tomb, we'll be at the Garden Tomb. And so it's kind of a cool amphitheater, and he's saying it in English and in Hebrew. And it's just beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just a comment. Whoever I end up with as seatmates, I use a CPAP, so it would be in your best interest if I am at the window, because once I turn that puppy on and go to sleep, I do not snore.
I think
That's
you
what
have
the
your own room.
CPAP is for.
You booked your own room, didn't you?
Well, yes, I have a private room. I'm talking about on the airplane.
Oh, on the airplane. On the airplane. Yeah.
Susie and I.
Yeah, so so on the airplane, just a reminder, earplugs, noise cancellation, headphones are awesome. Eye mask is amazing for sleeping. If you have a sweatshirt with a hoodie, that's amazing. And so there's all kinds of tactics. There's some on the list we've sent. I recently bought AirPods for the first time that have noise cancellation. I'm blown away by how good they work. So I can't wait to try it on a long flight. In fact, when I had my AirPods in, I put them in for the first time, and I was in my car, and I put them in. I'm like, oh my gosh, the car just died. What happened? And I'm like, what's going on? And I had them in, and they were set on noise cancellation. I couldn't hear anything. And then I pulled it out, and it was like, oh, the car is running. Wow, that's really cool. Anyways, those are all great tactics. Yeah, and I'll send it out again. But earplugs, the noise, the air travel noise is pretty intense. And over a long period of time, it can be a bit much. So, yeah, what else? Any other comments, jokes, snide remarks? Hydrated, stay hydrated, right? So you can bring your own water bottle and fill it up after you get through security, or you can buy a bottle and then have them refill it for you if you don't want to carry a big water thermos.
To me, I'm afraid of what my clothing choices are going to be wrong for the trip, so I'm really worried about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so just remember, yeah.
I packed skirts and sleeveless tank tops to go with it, but they also have a long skirt.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wear a couple and I bought 3 pairs of those pants that zippered off at the knee.
Yeah, those are great.
The same color every day.
Yeah. Those are great. So remember on your clothing choices, and it should say on the packing list, but you can pretty much pack whatever you want to be comfortable, but you always have to have something for the ladies that covers your arms that is not V-neck, crew neck, or make sure you take a sarong or shawl, large one that'll wrap around you. And then all of our items, both men and women, you have to have something that's long, either pants or skirt. Jim, it'd be amazing if you wore a skirt. But I know. Yeah. No, it would be amazing. Yeah, I know. I would tell you I took shorts on one of the days, and I didn't want to mess with it. I couldn't find my legs that I'd zipped off, that always happens. And so I had a large sarong, and I just wrapped it around me. And, I just went around with a skirt-like thing around my legs. So just have some options, and remember, don't worry. We'll always tell you the night before what you need to be wearing or dressed in preparation for what we're doing.
So when you say cover arms, how much of arms? Because arms go from shoulder.
So you're not going to do sleeveless, but
So
yeah,
to cover
yeah, mid-arm, and then the shawl will cover even more. Like when we hit those sites, and she says, just bring a shawl, ladies, bring your shawl, because you're going to wear it over your head and over your shoulders, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
And you said V-neck and crew neck?
So well, V-neck doesn't work on some of the sites.
But I can wear like
Like even what you have right now is great. Turtleneck type, crew neck, t-shirts all work. And then And then remember, too, you don't want to wear items that have political statements on them. Israel is very intolerant of that. And so, yeah. Yeah. Although it's very political there, which is funny. But anyways. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Pam.
Sometimes internationally, I substitute my wedding ring with a different one, and sometimes I don't. What would you recommend?
I say leave you be you and be comfortable with whatever you want to do. We are not in danger of theft or anything like that, as long as it's on your person. And then we have safes in our hotel rooms, and so any valuables you want to lock up at night, you can keep in there as well. But I've never run into that, Pam. At least not in Israel. Not in Israel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would caution Pam that I am traveling with you guys, so she might want to wear a different ring, because I kind of pick up on things like that.
Look at his face. Look at his face. He's laughing. Yeah, Gary's going to be trouble, I can tell. Yeah. Look at him shaking his head. Yeah. We'll keep him just in front of Jim, and Jim's the one that's going to have the whip. Go ahead, Gene.
You mentioned like eye contact.
Yeah.
That makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
The eye contact?
Yeah.
That makes me nervous because I look at people's eyes.
Yeah, it's interesting. All I would say about the eye contact, I saw that. It was on the link. And on the link, it mentioned eye contact. All I would say is it's rare that that's ever going to be intimidating. You'll kind of know the setting. I will tell you, on top of the Dome of the Rock, when some of the Muslim police, if you will, and you don't know they're just in plain clothes. They're just walking around harassing people. They're typically ones you're not going to want to stare down or glare down, right? Like, you can make eye contact, but oh yeah, you can take eye contact, but it's that awkward extra long contact where you're like, I see you. That's where and there's very few places that you're going to do that. Most of the places we're going to be is people all around. Now, I know our night walk in Jerusalem, when we walk through the back alleyways to get to the Western Wall, we just kind of cruise through. We just,
You knew what you were doing.
yeah, you just cruise through and disregard people around you because you're not there to tourism the actual locals, if you will. We're just wanting to get to our spot. And so that, and you'll be with me, and I'm used to doing the night walks if you're going to come out at night. And so we just kind of make our way through, and where now?
How many nights will we be where we could walk through the market?
So the question was, how many nights? It all depends on how many want to go out and how tired we are at the night walks. Now, typically, I offer that the very first night because everybody's so jazzed they want to go out the first night anyways. But the night walks, remember, that's bonus time. So we're not with our tour guy. That's where you want to go out with two or more and go as a group, go with somebody who knows where they're going. And I only moderately know where I'm going because it's been 5 years since I've been there. So, we're going to catch a bus. We're going to catch a tram. We're going to get off at the tram. We're going to walk through a gate, an old city gate, traverse through the Muslim quarter probably to get to the Jewish quarter and then the Western Wall. And so those night walks will depend on our group. If our group's just having a ball and wants to go out again, then yeah, let's go. And then, we'll just create a couple opportunities to do that. The Sea of Galilee area, bonus time after hours, there's just not a whole lot to go to. And so obviously going to the concert's kind of cool, so I'm actually looking forward to doing that. But on the Sea of Galilee, unless you want to spend the extra money, try to grab an Uber to go somewhere you have no idea where you're going, I don't particularly like to do that. Because I don't really control my own destiny that way, unless I know for sure where I'm going. Whereas in Jerusalem, I know. We're catching public transportation, we're getting off, we're hoofing it, we're walking together, moving together as a group. So, yeah. And so, I know. Even on the Sea of Galilee, I was not feeling well, and I wanted to get to a pharmacy to get something, and I walked. I forget who. Somebody went with me. Man, for a fella that doesn't feel good, it was a long walk. It was just nuts. And so, yeah. No, I didn't. So yeah, yeah. What other questions? Did that help answer the clothing and
Sam, don't take pictures of anybody without their permission.
yeah, I mean that yeah, I mean that goes yeah. Yeah. What are you guys laughing at?
I just took a picture of you guys.
Caught you red-handed.
Yeah, just as
I
I
love
was
how they
taking
just
it.
spontaneously start laughing and giggling. Yeah, yeah. So that kind of goes without saying, right? Even in the United States, like I do a lot of photography for the fire department and things in town. And I constantly have to ask people, can we use that? And so,
Like, how strict is it?
it,
If you take
it
a picture of like beautiful scenery and somebody walks across, that,
yeah, you don't have to. That's not. I mean, there's going to be people everywhere. It's just don't be super obvious.
If there's somebody you're really intent, like when I was in Africa, there was this gentleman who was in his late 90s, and he had walked over 35 miles just to have surgery. And he was pretty unique. He was the whatever, he was the head guy of the tribe where he lived. And I specifically wanted his picture, so it was a posed kind of thing. And I specifically asked for that because he was Muslim.
Yeah. So again, some of those things, as a group, unless you're a photographer and you just somebody looks so cool, which there'll be lots of cool-looking people, and you're into that kind of photography, then you might ask before you just snap off the picture. But yeah.
Also, I recognize that some of the Muslims believe that when you take their picture, you're stealing their soul.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm suggesting this.
Yeah. So generally speaking, you just don't. I know our last tour, the bus driver would get his hair cut in the Hasidic Jew area. And so he literally took our tour bus down the most narrow road I've ever seen. We're in this ginormous tour bus. And he told us in his broken English, okay, nobody take pictures. And because he didn't want anybody, it was his neighborhood where he did business. And he didn't want any of them to feel uncomfortable with a bunch of tourists peering out the glass windows taking pictures of people. And so you just think about that, have a sensitivity towards humanity in general. Yeah.
Sam, do you have an itinerary, specific itinerary for us that I haven't noticed, I guess, as far as day-to-day itinerary?
Yeah,
What's happening on each day?
it might be in your packet that's going to come out this next week. If not, we do have one, and I can send it out. It's in the main brochure, and I can send it out. And so, and that now there you go. That thank you, that one right there. But I have it electronically. I can send it out. That's a great tool. I'm already thinking about using my books, so I can look ahead. Okay, what are we going to go visit? What's its significance? Even though I've been there multiple times, and so that itinerary is pretty good. We've worked it. Sometimes a few things will change on it, depending on availability, but I haven't heard, and I'll get it in my packet as well, and I can see. But that brochure is a pretty thorough itinerary of exactly what we're doing each day. Anything else? Getting excited?
This is something I do. I make a tour book up ahead of time because I've got my flight stuff in here, the hotel reservations all in here, pictures, extra passport pictures, all of that, and it just slips into my backpack, and I can pull it out. And then when we get the final itinerary in a week or so, then I'll put that in there. And then you can make notes in it if you want to. I also usually take a little notepad that I can put in my breast pocket. And
Also, when we visit, every site we visit, almost every site is going to have for free or super cheap brochures or pamphlets. I collect all those because it helps me remember. And so when we go through, you'll collect. You could have 30 of those by the end of the trip. And
I just keep them in here, and then this goes on my bookshelf because sooner or later somebody's going to say, "Well, where was that picture taken?"
yeah,
And then you're real smart if you can say, "Well, that was at the Damascus Gate,"
yeah,
which, of course, as you know, goes out onto the road to Damascus.
Yeah.
And all of that, but it helps you remember and keep things straight, and also keeps your important stuff like the itineraries and the flight information and all of that in one spot. And I have a backpack that slips in.
yeah.
So
Can you guys
that
hear
works
Jim
for
okay?
me. That doesn't work for everybody else, so.
Will you do one for all of us, Jim?
Yeah. Hey, and just a reminder. Yeah. And just a reminder, no matter how prepared you are, you'll still struggle remembering where you took pictures. So remember, with our modern technology, you can always take a picture of the sign of so like Capernaum. There's a Capernaum sign. Take a picture next to it, and then you'll know every picture after that's in Capernaum. So almost everywhere we go has some kind of identifier. Take a picture of the sign just for the purpose of knowing, oh, this next series of pictures is that area. And then also you can take a picture of the itinerary for that day. Like I'll just snap it quick and go, okay. And so, because I do take a lot of pictures to put together the photo book. And so it just helps me. Those are some of the tricks and tools to do. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, great. So they're talking about a photo book I've created. The last one I created, it costs about $225. And most of the pictures are mine, but I did use a lot of pictures for some of our travelers. And it's a good blend. It has a lot of people in it because I like people in it. But it has a lot of the scenic things too. And so what I do is I create one because I want one. And then I'll ask you all, I can send you a demo, a link, and you can kind of see it. And you're like, oh yeah, I want one of those for me. And then we just buy them accordingly. So, yeah.
Take a backpack and a overnight bag on your.
I believe so. As long as the bag, typically they say as long as your shoulder backpack can fit in front of you, and one goes in the overhead. So remember, you need your leg space, and so the size of that bag really matters. I personally am going to take a small hard case for both my wife and I, and then a small backpack. And the hard case will go up in my carry-on, up in the overhead, and my small bag will have my intimate things I want in my seat while I use it. So,
The other suggestion, what I do is like, I take a picture like day one, I'll just take a picture of a 1. Day 2, picture of a 2. Everything after that on that particular card is on that particular day of the tour, not the date, but the day itself. And that way, when you go to Wally World, you know exactly where you want to go. I mean, who wants to go through like 4 of these little things to find one picture? You can go right to day 5, and you're within probably 100 pictures of the one you're looking for.
Yep. And I will say, just a reminder for everybody, it's hard, right? Because, we're tourists. We have our phones, our cameras, and we want to take pictures. I always say, just remember also to enjoy the moment. So I think there's a good, healthy balance of not always pulling out your camera and phone and just enjoying the moment. In fact, if in the moment you look around and you see 4 other people taking pictures, just enjoy the moment, because we can all share pictures later. With the modern technology, we can share pictures online, and you can grab the ones you want. And so I think there's always there's a good tension there. One of my travelers last time specifically mentioned he was bummed he wasn't going this time, but he said, the next time I'm going to go again, but when I go again, I'm not going to take any pictures. Because I have amazing pictures from the picture book. And so, I think there's just a good balance of enjoying the moment. You might not ever travel that way again. And so, what does that look like? Yeah.
It's not a might not for me, it is.
Yeah. And so, and I think last year I showed a picture. I had a GoPro on. I had my cell phone on a selfie stick. I had a 35 millimeter camera. I mean, I had them all on at once. So you'll see me. I mean, I've been multiple times. So I am able to enjoy both easily, and I enjoy taking the pictures. And so, yeah, good. Hey, thank you. It's fun. We just talked about it. Yeah. Yeah, we're fighting right now. No, we aren't. No, my wife's not here. She wasn't feeling that great this morning. So she thought, I'll just stay home. But yeah. Okay. What else? Anything else that's pressing? We're not going to keep you too long. We're just cruising right along. We decided not to talk about any sites. We feel like we've covered a lot of things. There's some things you just want to leave for the experience. Lavena said, Sam, you're always guilty of pumping everything up because you get so excited, and then you kind of get there and it's like, wah, wah. And I'm like, oh, honey, don't say that. Well, I'm going to have fun. I don't care about the rest of you. But no, I just, no, I have a tendency to get all excited and can get it all jacked up. So, yeah. And everybody caught my email about no drones, right? So yeah, we won't be doing drones. And what else can I tell you that's just super fun? Oh, one thing I do want to know, I might send it out via email, so I'm not going to put anybody on the spot right now. I'm not even looking for an answer. There are several sites will do an actual devotional. So what that means is I'll ask the group, do you want to do a devotional at one of the sites? What that means is you're going to share something personal 5 to 6 minutes. It is not site specific. So you're not going to walk away from the ask from me and think, oh no, I got to study 5 hours on the Mount Beatitudes. No. Our tour guide does that. We do it as a group. You don't have to. It's something, now it could be intimate and personal that connects, but you don't even know. In fact, Doug, I think, asked for a particular site. I'm not even offering that to everybody. It's like, if you want to do a Devo, then I'll just break it out, and wherever it's at is wherever it's at. And so, and then same is true for worship. We often will have a site identified where we'll do a song or two. But I do know that last time we went, there was 3 other sites we spontaneously did it, and 2 sites we didn't do it at all where we planned. And so I'll definitely be asking. I'll reach out via email. You can reply to my email. You don't have to reply all, and let me know if you'd like to lead a little devotional, and we'll do that.
Is this going to be one of those spiritual kind of tours?
Gary, you and Walt, I'm sure could do it, but the problem is, he said you have to hold it to 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's minutes, not hours.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're going to sing somewhere, the Chapel of the Beatitudes has great acoustics.
Yeah. Yeah. There's actually multiple places that are super cool and with great acoustics. Also, it's not uncommon for us to be at a site with some other groups, and sometimes they kick in and and we'll just join in. And so I think I shared that video with you all. We were on top of Masada. We sang a little song. Group from China came around, and then they sang it back to us in their native language. And so one of my favorites was the Jordan beyond Bethany, and there was a huge Christian Ethiopian group there in full dress. Every imaginable bright color you could ever think of, they were wearing, and beating drums and dancing in a circle, singing a Christian song in their native language. And so that verse that I shared where the tribes come, like literally the whole world shows up at Israel, and we're going to get to experience all that. And for many of us who live in these small rural areas without much diversity, it's a lot of diversity, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And so, good. All right. Getting excited? I know, isn't it crazy? We only have is it really only 3 weeks? Oh my goodness. So Victoria is leaving in 2 weeks. She's meeting up with her sister in Rome and going to hang out with her sister in Rome and then meet us at our hotel on the Mediterranean a couple hours after we fly in. And then she leaves on a different flight when we leave to meet her sister to go somewhere else. To go to Spain. And then I know Jim is traveling different after the end of the tour as well. Yeah. Yes. So we've got we've got some amazing times planned. Yeah.
I always considered going to Atlanta, but I don't know if I will. Because usually 3 days after I leave home, I'm ready to go home. In Israel.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Istanbul. Of course,
Yeah.
Istanbul to me is like Disneyland.
I'm never ready to go.
Well, you'll never be ready to go home when you're in Israel, believe me. Which all that to say is, get well rested, hydrated. I'll talk like my mom, who still tells me, Aaron, that's my middle name. Did you take your vitamins today? Whatever it is that it's your body. So whatever you do to bolster. Don't be surprised if you see me with a mask on the airline. I like wearing the masks on the airlines. I find it comfortable. It also helps me not dehydrate as fast. And so it's whatever it makes you comfortable for a really long flight, you should do it.
It would make me feel comfortable if you put a mask on Jim.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't hear you, Jim. I just see your mouth move.
Yeah. We didn't pass on the microphone. I know it's hard for you guys online unless we all have microphones, but good. Any other thoughts, questions? I'm not going to keep us too long. So if you have any questions, I'll put my cell number again on my email. Email's great. If you do call me and get my voicemail, I almost never answer if I'm with somebody, and it seems like I'm always with somebody. So leave me a message. I will get your message, and I'll definitely respond. Texting too. And otherwise, we're going to see you all in LA for dinner, hopefully. And we can all stay in touch, obviously, via cell phones. And then we'll all meet at the airport. So we'll have dinner Sunday night, for those who can make it. And then at noon at Los Angeles Airport at Lufthansa gate, right? Or the desk, Lufthansa counter. And so most of your hotels, if you're near the airport, have a free shuttle. And so they'll get you there. And so.
What you were saying is next year, Jerusalem. But we can say this month, Jerusalem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild. We're already in April. Anybody do an April Fool's joke? April. Did you do one? You got a couple done to you on your way out? What?
When I was feeding the dog this morning, as I took her up to the food bin, this strange glowing green light and noisy thing that moved like a serpent came out from my hallway, which was my daughters had gotten up at 5 a.m. just to spook us with their first April Fool's joke.
I love it. I love it. You know, last year my wife put soy sauce packets on the little nodules of the toilet seat. And I sat on the toilet seat and it went everywhere. And I was up before her this morning. I thought about doing it, but then I heard she wasn't feeling good. I was like, oh, all right. I had to clean it up. What's
I
that?
bet she just told you she wasn't feeling well so that you wouldn't prank her.
Yeah. Usually in our house with our kids, I'm a practical jokester, and it's all about trying to get somebody. Yeah. So, good. Well, the Lord bless you all as you prepare. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. Otherwise,
Sam,
yeah.
how hard would it be to just send me a quick thing of the itinerary? And I guess the reason I'm asking is my son has led 5 groups to Israel, and he's coming over this afternoon, and he wanted to talk to me about his experiences in some of those areas, and I really don't have an itinerary to go over with him. So I don't know if you had something to be real easy to ship off to me to just kind of say,
Yep.
you know, we're going to be at whatever place. What's
Yeah.
Jim saying?
Yeah. If Mark holds up the itinerary and you take a picture of the screen, you'll be good to go. No, I'm just teasing. I'll send it to you. You know, the good thing is I do have it, and you asked me nicely. If you're asking Jim probably would not do it for you because, you know.
He's like that. He's like that.
Can Gary see what Mark's holding up?
Yeah, they should be able to see each other.
Hold it. Do you have something like that, Gary, in your?
That's technology stuff, Jim. If you want me to take a picture of something he holds up, it's just not going to work.
So, there you go. Read that. The site, it probably is. I will email you though. I'll email you. It's a PDF, so you can open a link, right, on your computer?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually already took it down off our church website. Yeah, because once we were booked and finalized, there was no reason to keep it up. Yeah. I'll send you an email here as soon as we're done.
Sam, you're a lot nicer than Jim said you were. I want to tell you that. Thank you.
Yeah. And you're just as much trouble as Jim said you would be. All right, you guys. We're going to see you in Los Angeles.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yay.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Now go in peace, not pieces.